blöt är du då, Ivar? Hur mycket vatten har du i vantarna?
Att om du... Se hur länge det tar innan du känner igen det här. Jag ska se. Flipperspel. Digital illusions.
Gammaldags printer. Hej. Riktig gammaldags printer.
Fax.
Eller kanske en telefax.
Nice.
Floppy disk.
Vad du där?
Ja, det är farfar bra.
Vänta nu.
Nightmare.
Kom igen nu, hör du.
Vintras vilka är buska.
Jag vet ju inte vad. Nej, flippa.
Jag kommer inte ihåg hur man gjorde för att... så, nu.
Ja, poäng.
Men den får upp och sen ner. Sen upp där.
Fick jag
Det är
bästa av
intressant
alla
med fascinerad. Det här liksom.
Ja, fjärde plats. Well, we have had a nice time. Ivar's grandmother and grandfather from Finland has been on a visit, and we got some building done on the timber entrance, and it was very nice to see Ivar enjoy skating with his grandfather. As I've mentioned previously on this channel, family is very important to me, and I'm very happy that Ivar has his grandparents on both sides present, although my mother and father is a little bit further away. That's how it is. I mentioned a couple of videos ago that I wanted to talk about community, the larger family, so to speak. And under that video I posted some links to some videos from Larken Rose that I think everyone should watch. I will put the links down under this video as well in the description and I guess in a pinned comment. Also a video from my friend Tom Cowan that speaks about the book. This one, The Most Dangerous Superstition. He reads some paragraphs from it and has his commentary, and I enjoy his take on things, so that's also a video worth watching. Or I guess I would say I enjoy both Larken Rose's take on things. This is a book that everyone should read, but also Tom Cowan's commentary. So in short, those videos is about taking radical responsibility and being a grown-up and not putting your power or your decision making and your responsibility in the hands of someone else and expect it to work. And so what does this have to do with community? My wish is to create a community or have a community around me with men and women that know about these things, or how to say, it sounds weird, but people today, many don't take responsibility for their actions, and also is in this perpetual victim consciousness. Like everything that happens is someone else's fault, and I am in this situation because. And of course this is a complex conversation, but as I have come to see it right now is that as soon as you start to see that you are responsible for your situation, in most cases, at least you are responsible for how you act where you are right now and what's the next step, then you will behave in a completely different way than if you just say that I'm just a victim and I cannot do anything about my situation. And so again, what does this have to do with community? And I will tell you a little story here. This conversation here is a little bit erratic because I don't have any notes and I'm just winging it. It would be easier for me to have this conversation if you would be here instead of me talking through this camera to you. So it's not so easy to do this, putting your thoughts out there like this. So I feel a little bit uncomfortable with it, but I guess I need to just start doing it more, and so it gets easier. But I will tell you a story and see if this will clarify things. So there is this story in Canada with this milk farmer. Apparently there is a bunch of men and women who owns cows, and they have one farmer that milks these cows, and then the men and women come and get the milk from the place where their cows are. And so it is completely private, meaning it has nothing to do with milk that is sold in regulated stores and so on. It's these men and women own these cows and it's their milk. And so this farmer has been harassed by the so-called authorities for many years now, and I don't really know how the story has been unfolding till now. But what is true about this story is not the point here. The story has a point even if it would be completely made up. But so this farmer is harassed by the so-called authorities. One day they came there with a large car and started to raid the place and take everything, the computer apparently and all the milk products. And so the farmer called the ones who owns all of this, and they showed up. So they parked the tractor in front of the driveway so the so-called authorities could not exit, and they parked all the cars all around there and came and, what are you doing stealing our stuff here? And so the community gathered and in a peaceful way just said that this is not acceptable. And so there was a stalemate for some while. And so the community said that we will not let you leave with our stuff. Can you please put it back where you took it from? And a little bit of bantering back and forth, I guess. And then they put everything back and then they left with an empty car. So why I wanted to tell this story is the power of community is fantastic. I will put some links in the description of some very old videos about this incident if you're interested. Check it out. But why I wanted to tell this story is just to somehow talk about why community is very important. Community with like-minded people. And so I know that each and every one of you who watches our videos could be part of such a community. And I guess that's a little bit different in the internet world, or how to say. But still, we need such a community where if somebody gets harassed like the farmer there, then the community gathers, and it's not so easy for the power-hungry psychos to harass a larger community. And I guess that's something that has been happening, like I guess divide and conquer tactic from those with so-called power. So even though many of us watching these videos and the community around our videos here. Many of us probably have opinions and different worldviews about many different things. But somehow you are all still here watching, and I find that very beautiful, and I hope you want to explore this with me and how we can create a community where we support each other. That is very important for me. And this is also work that I spend a lot of time thinking about and wondering about how I can have this physically around me as well. I have a very nice and great community in Sweden, but they are also all over Sweden. So what me and Tova and Ivar are lacking here, I think, is a physical community. And I know Tova is not so. She knows the importance of community, but she values the solitude that we have here even more than I do, and I value it very high. So that's a dilemma of sorts. And we have a very nice community with the village here as well, but the community with like-minded people is the aspect, or close by is the aspect that we are lacking here a little bit. With that said, I'm also very thankful for the regenerative community that has been a large part of my community building for the last 5 years or more. And so that community is growing very rapidly now, and it's very nice to see. I don't know, I probably missed to say a lot, and I'm gonna think about a lot that I should have said when I'm editing this. I guess one aspect of community is the production of food and the support around that. So, because as many of you probably know, I'm not very keen on industrial food or the food industry as it looks like now and how everything is done. And so the example with the milk farmer is I guess, very fitting. This was in Canada, the milk farmer, when a community of more or less like-minded people came together and had these cows and got harassed by the so-called authorities. And I think this will become a larger challenge going forward. And also, if you look at the videos with this milk farmer and you are still unaware or haven't shed the belief that undestroyed, so-called unpasteurized milk is something to be afraid of, then I will put some links in the description as well to read about this particular topic. But in short, if you still think that unpasteurized milk is something to be afraid of, you have some work to do. And I guess that's an interesting segue into much of this is based on fear when it comes to control of food or food production. And I guess that's a legitimate concern. If your only source of food is coming from the store, then you have no idea what the name of the farmer is, you have no idea what the name of the cow or sheep or pig or milk cow or whatever. You have absolutely no idea what they were fed, where they're medicalized. So the only thing you can do is trust or believe, I guess, or trust what is being said about a particular product that you are consuming. But in a scenario where all of that is irrelevant, because you know the farmer, you know exactly how many cows there are, and you can go and knock on the door and have a cup of coffee with the one taking care of the animals, then the discussion is completely different. Yeah, I'm rambling, I guess. My question is, how can we nurture this community building? What are you doing in your life to have a community around you, a supportive community? And there is so many positive benefits of this. Whether it comes to if you're into home birthing, a community is key. When it comes to bringing up children, community is essential. When it comes to production of food, when it comes to everything in life, community is essential. Isn't it so? And why I want to tie in this conversation with the most dangerous superstition, that authority is legitimate or is a thing at all, is that if men and women are not capable of thinking for themselves and take some responsibility for their actions, then I would think it's a hard time to build a genuine and supporting community. So this is an essential aspect of community building. Well, we have had some snow. You were up checking the sheep.
Yeah. Maybe 20 centimeters or something in 2 days.
Again, so before that it was plus 10 degrees Celsius, very much melting temperature.
Ice.
It was like, okay, summer is gonna come.
And that
almost no snow in the southern hills of the village.
Now we're back to winter.
So we're gonna go take off the snow from the Farstu or entrance project.
Again.
Yes. So Tova, what do you think about community?
Nej, jag måste ge mig någon tid. Du måste förvarna. Jag hade piss där, och en Malva som har pissat. Sluta, där får du inte ta med. Du ska inte kasta sånt där på mig utan någon finns där när man behöver dem. Men sen vill jag vara i fred. Så, ja.
Eftersom den bara sopen.
Vad är det med den?
Därifrån bara.
Okay. The state of things, or I guess progress report. That little hole there is the door. And it's not a door for little people. We need to remove the log in between. The log underneath there is whole, so that I could continue building on this side. I don't know how to explain that.
So the structure is stable when you're building.
Yeah.
So you're gonna remove there.
So this wall ended up in the correct place, and so this is the top of the door, or the door hole, and this is a window, and here also is the top of the window. So we are almost finished with the
Walls.
Yes.
Some more rows, I guess.
Yeah, and also then we'll need to figure out the roof structure, because I'm unsure I will need to put all these logs on top of the structure here beside.
To see it in its whole.
Yeah. So I don't assume that I have been thinking correctly and cut something that I shouldn't.
Now I have a cabinet that are going to fit into this structure that is 250 centimeters. I can shrink it to 235. So you need to...
That's more space than in the house.
Not so much.
It's still more. That will be a problem, I think. We'll see.
Maybe we can shrink it some more, but I'm not sure. You know, you need to build a house according
To
or
your
after
furniture.
the furniture I have chosen. So
Yeah, well, whatever you say, my dear. Yeah, I guess that's the state of things here now. Next thing is to put a log on this side of the wall. Over here. Well, it's some days later. I have put this in place and now it's this one. I've already made the beginnings of the notches, and so now I need to make the notches on the underside of this one. And so in order to get them in the exact right place, I have put the log in place where it's supposed to be. Well, it's a lot of running back and forth. I need to make adjustments and adjustments until I can get the gap closed here, as close as possible, and then make the last cut to really join them together. But now it is time for some tea. In the video maybe it would look like I didn't do much and then it's time for tea. But before I even got started with that today, there was a lot to do with taking care of the animals and so on, and also playing with my son. Well, it's in place. It's where it's supposed to be, cut to length. Yeah, this is getting exciting now, and it's getting too high to work. It's heavy lifting these logs up here. So I think the next thing to do here is to actually disassemble this whole thing and put it on top of the rest, the foundation to this. In case this is one of the first videos you stumble on this channel, watch the previous 2 videos to get an idea what I'm doing here. And then we'll see if it's the next episode to assemble the whole thing. Yeah. So as usual, these videos is made possible by our wonderful community on our Patreon site.
Thank you so much.
Tack.
Ah, tack. So this video is us expressing our dreams and wishes about the community we envision.
Well, I sounded quite like a bitch in the earlier clip, so that don't want a community. But of course, I also would like to have something like a close-knit, tight female group friend close by. And at the same time, I really
Enjoy the solitude.
yeah.
I think one of the things or one of the aspects with this conversation is that when we talk about community, we think about communes. Is that the word? Collective? Like the 70s hippie green eco village, move together and everything is peace and love and everything goes to shit.
I think there's not a lot of those that manage to keep on going for.
No, so there needs to be another mindset when creating a community. I'm thinking more of a village where there is individuals and individual families, but also families that together support each other. Yeah, I guess that's how it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
And it shouldn't be hard. Why is it so hard? And I think I would guarantee that many of you who are watching this video now is dreaming of such a thing as well. And many of you probably have it more or less around you. And so what I'm asking is, how can we nurture this both locally, physically, where you are, where we are around us, and also on the internet, the community around our videos on our Patreon site. So I'm inviting you to share this video with those around you that you want to build this community with, or that you already have a community but you want to make it more intentional. And also maybe share so that we can build a larger community where we can shine the light on foul behavior, because bullies don't want to be exposed. So if we could use our fantastic community to help each other out in such cases, that would be nice. One thing that could be a little bit not easy to solve is, how do we not let bad actors use the power behind this community, so it doesn't become like a mob rule, like cancel culture or something like that. I don't really know how to express this thought, but you know, people gather and use it as a mob rule to get their will across and stomp on others. That's also why it's so important to read the book, The Most Dangerous Superstition, and also watch the videos that I will link, so that you can understand what I'm saying. I think what I'm saying here will become much clearer if you take the time to read the book. I guess one of the most difficult aspects of this is we all think different about different things and how things should be done and so on and so on. And so where do we find the common ground? And I guess that's pretty easy. We all want to have access to good food. We all want our children to grow up in a healthy community with good clean air and so on. And as for me, and I think most of us in the world would gather around the principle that all interactions between men and women should be voluntary and based on consent. And this is a very interesting topic. If you don't think that all interactions should be voluntary and based on consent, then you think that someone have the right to force you and boss you around, or some people have the right to boss other people around. If you think that some people have the right to boss other people around, then you are for slavery, and that's not really good. But this is a complex conversation. And so what we also can talk about is how do we organize things based on this very basic principle. The principle that every interaction should be voluntary and based on consent. Well, I've said it many times this video already. Read the book, watch the videos.
So now my man has been ranting about the why, and I guess we'll see
the how will reveal itself. Yeah.
Put some thoughts out in the world. But I guess that's it for this episode.
Thank you for watching, and I'm looking forward to your comments. We'll see you in the next episode.